I'm Arjun Kanungo. I am Livaeco GlobalSpa Fit Fab. My fitness mantra is consistency and hard work.
So we're here today with Arjun Kanungo. He's a singer, actor, composer, entrepreneur, and actor. Starting his pop career with the breakout hit Baaki Baatein Peene Baad. He's also a national level basketball player and three-time national gold medal winner in center fire pistol. He's also just made his Bollywood debut this year in Radhe. Arjun, thank you so much for making time for us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, diving into it. How and when exactly, did you first realize you had a passion for singing and this is what you wanted to do?
I was about 17 years old, and I think I was just getting done with my, high school and deciding what I wanted to do with my life. And I just kind of came across music. I met some musicians, and they were really passionate about what they did, and I felt like I wanted that passion, and I wanted that direction in my life. And I just kind of took it up from there. One thing led to another, and I've been doing it for almost maybe 15 years now.
So when you first started out, what kind of challenges did you had to face?
I genuinely felt like from the first day that I really loved what I did. So I didn't really face any challenge as such in the sense that it didn't feel like a challenge. Of course, there were challenges, there were problems to solve, and nobody in my family really did anything to do with music or film. But I think that because I was so interested in what I was doing, and I had like the right attitude, I think it just felt very easy, and it still feels very easy. I still wake up in the morning. I still really look forward to what I'm doing, and I feel like every day like, oh, my journey is just starting. So I think that the major challenge for me was the fact that nobody in my family really had any interest in Bollywood or film or music, and I had to kind of learn from scratch. But other than that, I felt like this journey so far has been pretty easy.
So, from being a singer to an actor, how has that entire trajectory been for you?
I think it's just the trajectory is as for being an actor is just starting. I think that because I've been doing singing for almost, I don't know, it's been a long time, and acting is still recent. Like I think my love for acting really became strong when I went to Lee Strasberg to study acting in 2013, and that's when I realized that this is something I also want to do. So when I came back, I started pursuing it, but then music kind of took over right up till 2018. That's when I started filming for films and doing. So there was this big gap in 2000 between 2013 and 2018. 5 years, I didn't do anything to do with acting, and I was acting in my music videos. I was doing a little bit for web and stuff like that, but I wasn't really acting. But after 2018, that's when I really took it up seriously. So I think the trajectory is just starting to move towards acting a little bit. I'm doing a few more acting projects, a couple of short films, some web series, a film that I'm doing next year. So a lot of stuff happening, but definitely it's just starting.
Great. So are you big on fitness as well?
I am. Like I said, I was like you said, rather that I was very involved in sports when I was younger. My mom is a sports person. She's a 16-time national champion in pistol shooting. She's won medals at the Commonwealth Games. She's represented India a lot. So I grew up with sports being in my family, like quite a bit. And everybody was very fitness. Like all my extended family is also very into fitness. My grandfather is actually the one who kind of instilled this fitness thing into us. And he said, I remember when I was very young, he told me that it doesn't matter, what you do in your day. Just make sure the first 2 hours of your day is like doing some exercise or the other, and it'll just kind of fit in. Something will happen, and then it'll just the rest of the day will just kind of work out. And I think that was the best advice he could give me, because when you are physically fit, you tend to be mentally fit as well. And so I think that because it's been instilled in me in a very young age, I've always been very, very, very focused on my fitness. I'm not necessarily like very good with my diet, but definitely with my exercise, I'm pretty consistent.
So what does your daily fitness regime look like?
So usually I work out like 3 or 4 times a week in the gym. Like if I'm doing weights or like functional training, it's 3 or 4 times a week. And then once a week, I either play football or cricket. And once a week, I go running. So this has been pretty much my fitness mantra for many years, many years.
Now, what would you say is your wellness philosophy?
I would say that if you truly want to be well, then you have to focus on both your mental and physical fitness. I think that if you ignore any one of them, they are like they're connected.
Mhm.
So I think that as much time as you take in working out at the gym, you make sure that you also spend that much time taking care of yourself mentally in whatever way, whether it's therapy, it's you want to do yoga, or it's meditation, or whatever it is. I feel like it's super important to do both.
Mhm. Right. So, talking about sustainability, you've also included a lot of house and you've been vocal about, about going eco-conscious as well. So can you
Yeah.
tell me a bit about that? Like, how did it first begin for you when you first realized?
So I think it's I've always been super conscious about like the environment because I'm honestly starts from just the fact that I'm a neat freak. Like I just need everything clean all the time. So I found it very disturbing that when I was a kid, I watched someone throw something out of the car, or like when they're eating like something and just throw the wrapper on the street. That would really disturb me. And it started from there, and then I think as I grew older, I was more particular about what I did, and and I became aware of what climate change is and what global warming is. And the more I read about it, the more I felt like there is something we can do individually as well. Like it doesn't have to be uh, someone else's problem. And I think that the first thing I did, like many 5 6 years ago, was I made my house completely solar powered. And that was an experiment. I felt like maybe this will work, this won't work, but I'm very happy I did that. In fact, the panels are still working very well today after 6 7 years. And that was the first thing I did. I cut out red meat from my diet. I cut out milk from my diet. I'm not a vegan as such. I don't believe in veganism as such. I do believe that there are some benefits to eating meat, but I think the major greenhouse, like the the major contributors to global like climate change are like the red meat and the milk more than anything else. So that's why I gave it up. And yeah, I've been doing stuff like that for a long time. Just personal stuff, like small things, in my own life that I feel can benefit.
Mhm. And what are your thoughts on sustainability in fashion as such?
I think that we live in a like a fast consumption kind of fast fashion definitely has a very negative impact on the environment, right? Because it's just creating so much waste.
Mhm.
So I do feel like it's wasteful. I do feel like there was a time where you would keep the same T-shirt for many years,
Yeah.
and that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. You kind of buy and throw very very often. So I'm not a big believer in that. I don't shop very often, but whatever I do buy, I really tend to like and keep.
Mhm.
So I think fast fashion is, I'm not for it. Although I can't say that I'm not guilty of it either. Like I have to say that, I'm not going to be hypocritical about it and say that no, I've never shopped like that. But I have. But I do believe that there's a waste component, and I do believe that we would benefit from cutting down from this fast fashion trend as much as possible.
Right, right. So you're always doing, something or the other. So how do you maintain a work-life balance in your life?
I don't have a work-life balance. I keep telling people that. I work and I go to sleep. I'm actually not a believer in this whole moderation thing. I think that yeah, your body and your mind have to be fit, and that's a very good thing, and that's the only thing I really believe that you should make sure that both are uh, are moderately healthy. But other than that, I'm not a big believer in moderation. I think that there isn't for me at least it hasn't worked because if I'm not working, I'm thinking about work and I'm thinking of what I can do about work. And and it's not that I don't have a family life, it's not that I don't spend time with my fiance, it's not that I don't spend time with my friends. It's just that I've built a life for myself which revolves around work, and these are all other things that just kind of happen when they happen. And it's not like anybody in my life is complaining and saying that, oh, you don't have time for me. And we tend to kind of, if your mind is at work, you kind of you find a way to make both work. It's just like, you have your friends over at your office, or you meet them at events, or you go out together and kind of make it about work as well. So I feel like there is a way to do both. And there are times, of course, when work is out, I take a couple of weeks off in the year and I'm just like, okay, I don't want to work right now. And there are those times where I get burnt out. But that being said, I don't have a work-life balance. I just work.
So how do you, whenever you like unwind and relax, how do you like to do it the most?
Um, I think when I really want to unwind, I just put everything off, like all the screens off. I just put the lights off in the room and I just, turn the blinds down. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to think about anything. I just close my eyes for a bit. Just I like the silence. I'm a big fan of silence. Actually, I'm not. I like going to restaurants where the music isn't too loud. I'm that kind of guy. So when I want to relax, also I want silence. So usually I don't put on the TV. I don't look at my phone, or keeping anything that causes any kind of stimulation. I kind of shut that off. So maybe go for a holiday, stay by the beach or in the mountains where it's like quiet. So for me, that's really relaxing.
So far, what has been your biggest achievement or milestone that you're most proud of?
Um, Tough one. I think that when I made my uh, like early on in my career, like when I just started off, I think that I wasn't very confident about being a musician and being in front of the camera and doing stuff in front of the camera. And I wasn't really sure that, okay, can I make songs? Can I do something that actually amounts to any kind of career? And I remember it's somewhere around 2011 or 12, I made my first song, and it was called Bandish, and it was just I never released it. It was just something that I made, but it was an actual song from start to end. And I remember sitting in the studio and crying, and I was like, shit, I can actually do this. And it was that realization for me that I could actually maybe a musician, and I could actually do this as a career, and I'm good at it. I think for me that was the moment when I realized that I'm good at this. And I think that was my biggest achievement, to finish that song from start to end and feel like I can actually take this forward and make a career out of it. So I think after that everything was like, yeah, okay, whatever awards or whatever hits, or it wasn't something that I felt as emotionally about as that first moment where I actually made that song.
Sounds great. Okay, the last question for you for today. What would you say is your success mantra?
um I think being like thinking about things calmly and executing them. I feel like we tend to make very rash decisions because we want something that someone else has, or we're comparing ourselves to other people. But I think we need to just take a step back, look back at what works best for us. So I would say definitely be calm, make the right decisions, make rational decisions, think about yourself first rather than trying to impress someone else. Hard work and consistency, for sure, that those are two things which you cannot replace. You have to be consistent every single day. You have to work really, really hard because there's someone out there who's working harder than you. And I would say definitely enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, you're never going to be successful. So I think these are the things that really help me.
Great. Well, that's it. It was really nice talking to you, Arjun. It was
Thank
really
you,
nice
Vrinda.
getting to know you.
Thank you. Have a good day. See
Yes,
you.
you too. Have a good day.
See
Thank
you
you.
guys.